Your heart is heavy. You feel a tightness in your chest that no amount of distraction can ease. You have tried everything: the self-help books, the endless scrolling, the late-night conversations, but the weight remains. The Prophet, peace be upon him, understood that the heart is not just a muscle. It is the seat of your faith, your emotions, and your connection to Allah. And he prescribed a cure for the hardened heart, a cure that most of us have forgotten. The Qur'an and Hadith provide a rich vocabulary for describing the heart, and over the centuries, various Islamic disciplines have built upon this foundation to develop profound understandings of the heart as the meeting place of the divine and the human. Stay for number 1. The key to the sound heart. Before we begin, we have gathered the daily practices of the Beloved, peace be upon him, into one book, the Sunnah Home Manual, 40 Practices. Now, let us return to the heart of the believer. Let us learn the forgotten Sunnah that heals the heart. Let us begin with number 1, the rusting of the heart. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that the heart rusts just like copper and silver. He said, "The heart is rusted, just as iron is rusted. Its polishing is the remembrance of Allah." This is the forgotten Sunnah that heals the heart. The rust is not a metaphor. It is a spiritual reality that manifests as a heaviness, a darkness, a distance from Allah. And the cure is dhikr. The scholars explain that dhikr is the polish of the heart. It clarifies the heart until it leaves it like a clear metal, and if it is left, the heart will rust. Rusting of the heart is by 2 ways: negligence and committing sins, and its polishing is by 2 things: istighfar and dhikr. So, whosoever spends his time mostly in negligence, the rust will accumulate in his heart to a degree proportionate to his negligence. And when the heart rusts, the reality of information will not be imprinted on it. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, teaching his companions. He knows that the heart is the seat of faith. He knows that it can become hard, and he gives them the cure. That is the Sunnah. Number 2, the remembrance that heals. The Qur'an declares, "Surely in the remembrance of Allah hearts can find comfort." This is a comprehensive promise. It is not a suggestion. It is a certainty. The scholars explain that the heart is like a vessel. It is filled with anxiety, worry, and stress. And the only thing that can fill it with peace is the remembrance of Allah. Dhikr is not just a ritual. It is a spiritual mindfulness practice that has therapeutic value. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught specific words of remembrance that bring peace. The most powerful of these is the declaration of Tawheed, La ilaha illallah. The scholars explain that this single phrase, when recited with presence, can calm the most anxious heart. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a moment of distress. He turns to Allah, he remembers him, he recites his names, and his heart is at peace. That is the Sunnah, and it is still available to you. Number 3, the spiritual prescription of Ibn Qayyim, the great scholar of prophetic medicine. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah collected all the medicines of the heart and soul in his book, The Ailment and the Cure. He explained that the right way to treat heart disease is by dhikr to Allah. By dhikr, the heart will be clean. Once the heart is clean from inner trash and negative memories, the heart becomes more spacious, relieved, and spacious. We can also feel inner peace. The impact of peace of mind is that we will feel happiness and avoid the diseases of greed, envy, and jealousy. Ibn Qayyim explained that the rusting of the heart is by 2 ways: negligence and committing sins, and its polishing is by 2 things: istighfar and dhikr. This is the complete protocol. It is a recognition that the heart is affected by both spiritual and practical factors. And the cure is both spiritual and practical. Imagine the students of Ibn Qayyim. They are learning the medicine of the heart. They are understanding the connection between their actions and their spiritual state. They are being given the tools to heal. That is the Sunnah. Now, let me pause here and ask you something, and I want you to be honest. Do you remember Allah? Do you recite the words of remembrance? Do you seek His forgiveness? The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that the remembrance of Allah is the polish of the heart. It is the cure for its rust. It is the key to peace. So I want you to look at your heart. Is it rusted? Is it heavy? Is it in need of polishing? Drop a comment below. Tell me one act of dhikr you are going to implement today. Because the Prophet did not prescribe these for no reason. He prescribed them for your peace, your faith, and your connection to Allah. Now let us continue, because we have 2 more dimensions to explore. Number 4. The sickness of the tongue. The scholars explain that the tongue is a door to the heart. When you backbite, you are not just harming another person, you are harming your own heart. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that the excellence of a man's Islam is his leaving that which does not concern him. The scholars explain that backbiting is a disease of the heart. It is a manifestation of spiritual sickness. And the cure is to guard the tongue, to speak good or remain silent, to avoid the faults of others, to seek forgiveness when you slip. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that the tongue is the key to the heart, and he taught that the heart follows the tongue. Imagine a person who guards their tongue. Their heart is at peace, their heart is pure, their heart is healed. That is the Sunnah. Number 5. The cure in the Qur'an. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that the Qur'an is a healing for the heart. He said, the Qur'an is a cure for what is in the breasts. The scholars explain that the Qur'an is not just a book of guidance. It is a source of healing. It heals the doubts. It heals the diseases. It heals the rust. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would recite the Qur'an. He would seek healing in it. He would teach his companions to do the same. Imagine a person who recites the Qur'an. The verses are like water. They wash away the rust. They purify the heart. They bring peace. That is the Sunnah. For 1400 years, this wisdom has been passed from the Prophet, peace be upon him, to his companions, to Ibn Qayyim, who collected the medicines of the heart, to the families of Medina, who polished their hearts with dhikr. Now, science is catching up. It is confirming what we already knew in our hearts. The remembrance that brings comfort, the dhikr that polishes, the istighfar that cleanses. These are not just spiritual ideals. They are the prophetic protocol for a sound heart. But let me be absolutely clear. The cures Allah has placed in His creation are not miracles, and they do not replace your doctor's care. They are the means He has given through the Sunnah, and they are blessings. Now, if you want to explore this further, I urge you to watch our video on the prophetic du'as for anxiety and depression, the complete guide to supplications in times of hardship. The modern research on the neuroscience of prayer and mental health will astonish you. That video is waiting for you. Click it now. May Allah grant you and your family complete shifa. May He polish your hearts with dhikr. May He remove the rust of negligence, and may He unite you all in the gardens of paradise. Assalamu alaikum.